March 28, 2024, Durango Dankir. Futureverse, hashtag Futureverse Newsroom, GP7A, Metaverse. When you understand how labels and generative AI and the entire metaverse, as far as when the battle started, who started it, different companies making claims of change, but yet the content they're talking about still around. Example, Twitter, Facebook, by the biggest manipulators of content. I don't use it. I can't close my account because they'll just open one up. That's what TikTok does. TikTok opens up a channel and or a profile under every word there's in a dictionary, because that's what it's all about, folks. It's the labeling of our entire vocabulary system. And so here, when you see Metaverse, which they got their website December 25th, 2022, which means even though they talked about it, they didn't plant their tree until they got that domain. Boom. I could have bought the domain. It was open. I own 80 platforms. We own 80 platforms. I'm the managing partner. I'm the one that picked them all based off of artificial intelligence, going off trends of what I believe a certain group of people will talk about in the future. So in order to predict the future, you have to write it today. And you do that by establishing digital assets, which are domain names. The more content that you create on your own and less content that you give to third-party social apps, because they'll destroy you. They're the social gulags. They're the ones that just can turn off your whole life because you weren't smart enough to go build your own metaverse. And see, I've been doing this since 2006 under the brand. Right there, folks. And so what we did was that I used Google operators, and I started advancing conversations back in 2006 of what a group of people might have and what they talk about. I could have went out and bought Futureverse if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I can. I might. Other forums, if they haven't already done it, and this is a message for them to go do that. But the situation is that I've been grandfathered in, as well as other people, during that time period on certain things that are available to us that's not available to anybody else. And the only reason you know this stuff is if you study Google and YouTube and their ever-changing ways, and the new system they're putting out with YouTube, which keeps developers on point, where you have to verify your content. Where if you're a tabloid, like a supermarket tabloid, where you're just making stupid stuff up, then you got to tell people this is all made up. This is you have to inform people because they aren't being taught anywhere else. So this is just another way for YouTube and Google to hold people accountable. And when it works, you just got to take the time and read these things. But I see why they need to do this, and I'm for it. It's their platform. I do what I told. I do what I'm told. If I want to stay living in their house, house rules, folks. House rules. It always rules. If you don't pay the house, then you're just paying the fools. And everybody has a house. You got your own house, you got your church house, you've got your MMA house, boxing houses, wherever you do your business house. And what happens now is this. So these folks all got together for $54 million. They got their website on the 22nd, okay? And with that said, and you know, because you can go right here to this place and get that. But what you're seeing here on my dashboard, and everybody's dashboards are different. And it's amazing because I learned this from Google. I learned it from YouTube. I didn't go listen to nobody else. I just listened to the guys that are doing it. Not third party guys. So, with that said, what they did was they mentioned Metaverse. I've been talking Metaverse for a very, very, very long time. And so here's how this node connection and conversation control and lever control works. So they not having a deep mind department, and in their minds, they already are the best of everything, and they're wizards and they know it all, right? They're good at what they do, but they're not gods at what they do. So when you click on GP7A, missing is GP7A. So you're saying, well, what's missing? The whole tag. My GP7A is a tag of all the content that we've created since 2006 under the brand of GP7A. GP7A is everything that starts with a G, everything starts with a P, and everything that starts with an A. I mean, God is the number one. So no matter who your God is, he's still God. God made man in the image of himself. So he was all these different people. You know, he didn't want everybody to look alike. So he didn't infect the gene pool with a bunch of Eves to cause a purebred champion bloodline of whatever race goes in mixed races. And see, that's the thing that I will do when I'm done with everything else. I'm gonna crack that code. Anyways, if I haven't already, just when you're not working with other people that think that they're the biggest guys in the world, but yet they're not, because the internet changed in 2020, constantly changing. And so when people come up, yeah, we're the metaverse, and they think they're going to just take this word that I could have went and got it, folks. If you look at when, this is what I do, I buy domains. But the reason why I don't buy all of them is because you have to add other people's conversations in the mix. You can't be a monopoly and own them all. You have to share, and you have to let other people, even if it falls into the hands of the wrong people. But so this $54 million, and this is what organic content does, it allows you to receive a return on an investment that other people have made. In this case, they got $54 million. When now I can show their investors that though they do what they do all over the place, but to say you're the leading AI metaverse technology content company, you just planted your digital tree on the 22nd of December. So you don't even have 2 years yet. I planted my tree right here, man, under the brand GP7A tag. Everything starts with a G, everything that starts with a P, and everything that starts with an A. And then you think about the number 7. That's the lucky number. That's the holy number. That's the number that makes things move. It also controls the numbers below it and the numbers above it. In my metaverse, the way I've written my content, here's the number 8. GP7A. 7-8. See how that works? So you say, well, what does that mean? This is what it means. Even those little, results, 132, but they're the top results of everything that they've talked about, everything that they have claimed they can do. They learned somewhere, and they haven't given up their sources. So all the magic tree and all that, now it's in question. Is it in question, or are they just running parallel to a greater minds? It's when they try to take over those minds with their words and their actions can't take it. See, it used to be where if you could do some whoop-de-woo on the internet with some words. See, now AI uses our voice. It's called voice latent print. It's like a fingerprint. And AI can detect false voices, everything. That's why when you're talking out loud and you're at a concert, like say concert, did you know that that you can bank on that every one of those phones are now node connected one way or another, either through Bluetooth scan, third party apps, being able to turn on, turn off your cameras, you not knowing. These are the things that they need to talk about, not AI. Because when you talk about AI and you understand what generative AI is, that means everybody's voices and all of our actions through GPS, cell phone tower pings, everywhere we go, everything we talk about, and everything we do. So if you're just a talker and you're not a builder and all the content you got was everybody else's and you thought that AI wasn't following you, they've been following you since 2006. And then I go back to where registration is. So when people come up to me, yeah, I just did a website, I get this. Young cats, which I love their energy, but they're not one to share. Just by their conversation, I just got on internet today. I'm gonna fucking make millions. I got the best idea. Really, who you working with? I don't need to work with anybody, man. I just get on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, okay. Use all those that manipulate your content, that puts in fake numbers. You don't know nothing, so I don't. I make my own. And so I did it in 2006. Actually, I started in '95. But I took a few years off. It wasn't 40-hour consistent since 2006, 40 hours a week. And see, that's where equity comes, true equity, hard work. That's where artificial intelligence will give it to that reporter that it's not called journalism anymore on the internet. You're an observer indexer. Journalists have blown their wads a long time ago. And what they don't understand, like that poor lady that worked for the Republican Party, I never liked what she did to me. I mean, I didn't like, I don't know, just another bloviated pig with red lips to me. The ones just talk and talk and they got nothing. And see, Gen Zs are learning and they're going, man, these are the people that are going to control my life. So when I'm 60 years old, where I'm going to be? And that's what this is for. It's for my brothers and sisters that are under the age of 38. Pull your heads out. If you can't see the warning sign, the writing's on the wall, and the writing's on it right here too. So when people try to do whoop-de-woo and come in and say they're Futureverse and they're gonna, you planted your tree. It's a good tree. It's got well funding, but this is what you did for me. And these are the alerts that I get when people cross those borders, cross those lines. And so when people talk about things and shows up, so this is it, folks. This is the Futureverse. I own websites with future in it. I own websites that have verse in it, and metaverse, and human, and man, and oh my. And they're all under the brand GP7A. So it's grandfathered in as if it was 2006 for them. That's how tagging works, folks. And these are yearly tagging. I'm into I'm going to be going into my decade tagging because everything gets indexed every 10 years in my metaverse. And how I do things and how I see things and how Google has taught me what I can do in my metaverse. And so when you understand that, and I did this 18 years ago, folks, I took every word that every person that could ever think about with some major categories that I have authority in. And Futureverse.com was available, and I could have bought it. They just paid, and this is the proof that I know what I'm talking about. Because they don't show up anywhere in these results. And it took me 18 years, folks, to raise my flag. So So when other people think they're gonna come and do some whoop-de-woo and oh, I got a website called Futureverse and we're the number one AI, blah blah blah. Guess what? When you keep talking, and then you're not at the level that we're at, our content comes to save the end users that you just bullshitted that you could do all this stuff and that you're this thing because you got $54 million when this is all organic content. I didn't pay a dime for it. And so thank you for the $54 million investment, Futureverse. We are the untold by the voice of the unheard.com. The voice of the unheard.com.